If you grow vegetables at home, you've probably wondered if there's any way to speed up growth without relying on expensive fertilizers or chemical inputs. And the answer is yes. There is a mixture so simple, so easy to make that it seems too good to be true. But it works. It is used by small farmers, urban gardeners, and even those who grow in pots inside apartments. With a single application, it activates the soil, stimulates the roots, and causes visible growth in a matter of days. The kind of result usually only seen after weeks, but naturally, affordably, and without industrial tricks. This mixture doesn't come from a lab, nor does it need to be bought in a specialty store. It can be made with ingredients you probably already have at home, or that cost so little you can test it today. And most interestingly, it acts as a kind of kickstart for the plants. It increases nutrient absorption, strengthens the structure, and prepares the soil to produce much more. All this without requiring experience or complicated techniques. It's the kind of solution that seems passed down from generation to generation, but almost no one talks about because it's too simple to become a shelf product. While many believe that only expensive products can boost a vegetable garden, those who test this mixture discover that the secret lies in the basics done well. Nature responds quickly when we use the right elements in the right measure. This mixture activates the soil, wakes up good bacteria, and creates an environment where the plant grows stronger and healthier without depending on constant fertilization. And it doesn't matter if you are growing lettuce, kale, tomato, or bell pepper. It works for practically any vegetable. In a few days, you see the leaves turning greener, the stems firmer, and growth accelerating noticeably. If you always thought taking care of plants was too much work, or that you needed to spend a lot to have a real harvest, this video will show you the opposite. I'm going to explain what's in this mixture, why it works, how to prepare it, when to use it, and what to avoid to get the best possible result. Everything step by step, in the most practical way possible. Stay with me until the end because after today, you will look at your garden with different eyes, and you will harvest more than you imagined with much less effort. The mixture that can triple your harvest is a simple combination of 3 natural ingredients: water, molasses, and a handful of living organic matter, like worm humus or well-aged compost. When these elements come together, they form a solution rich in beneficial microorganisms and natural sugars that feed the soil and wake up the plant roots almost immediately. Molasses enters as a source of quick energy for the microorganisms, humus brings life and biological diversity, and water is the vehicle that distributes all this straight to where the plant needs it. It's like giving a complete breakfast to your garden, only in liquid form. What happens after the application is almost magical. The soil, often tired and inactive, begins to ferment gently, releasing nutrients that were there but unavailable. The roots absorb more efficiently, the leaves grow with more vigor, and the plant starts to develop in a more balanced way. Unlike artificial fertilizers, which force rapid and superficial growth, this mixture stimulates real development from the inside out. Plants become more resistant to pests, handle weather variations better, and produce more leaves, fruits, or flowers depending on the type. Preparing the mixture is very simple. For every liter of water, add 1 tablespoon of molasses, or brown sugar if you don't have molasses, and 2 tablespoons of worm humus or well-aged compost. Mix well until everything dissolves. Then, just water directly at the base of the plant, preferably in the late afternoon or early morning, when the soil is cooler and more receptive. This application can be done every 10 to 15 days, depending on the stage of the plant. In the first few times, you already notice a difference in leaf coloration and growth rate. If you are just starting now, the ideal is to test this mixture in one part of the garden and observe the difference compared to the rest. It is a safe way to experiment and prove it with your own eyes. And the best part is that there is no risk of burning the plant as happens with chemical fertilizers. This mixture is gentle, alive, and intelligent. It adapts to the soil and the plant's needs, and that is exactly why it works so well. It is a reinforcement, not a complete replacement of care, but when used well, it transforms the final result clearly. On the other hand, it is important to avoid some mistakes. Never use this mixture in excess. More does not mean better, and avoid applying it in strong sun, as this can reduce the effectiveness of the microorganisms. Another important point, use good quality ingredients, pure molasses, real humus, no poorly composted scraps or strong ammonia smell. The success of this technique lies precisely in the life you are offering to the soil. The more alive the ingredients, the more alive the results. And with a little attention to these details, you will realize that sometimes what was missing for your garden to succeed was just a simple recipe made at the right time. After preparing the mixture, the next step is to fit it into your plant care routine. And this is much simpler than it seems. If you grow in pots on the balcony or in an apartment, you can make small quantities, apply with a small watering can, and that's it. For larger gardens or backyard beds, the same solution can be made in buckets or 5-liter jugs and distributed with a common watering can or hose with a gentle nozzle. The important thing is to direct the mixture to the base of the plant, where the roots are, and not waste it on the leaves or outside the bed. The ideal is to use this mixture at the end of the day or very early, when the earth is cooler and microorganisms can penetrate the soil better without being harmed by the heat. If you have a busier routine, you can set aside a fixed day of the week just for this special watering, like a boost day. And even those who plant only on weekends will be able to apply and reap good results, because the action does not depend on daily frequency, but on the quality of the elements involved. After 2 or 3 applications, most people already start to see a difference. The leaves gain more color, the stem thickens, growth becomes more uniform. In many cases, the time between planting and harvesting decreases and productivity per plant increases. This happens because with more active and nourished soil, the plant makes better use of the nutrients that are already available. It is not a false visual effect, like what happens with chemical products that bloat the plant. It is real, sustained, healthy growth. And this is the kind of result everyone notices, even those who have never cared for plants before. Another important point is consistency. This technique works very well when it becomes part of your routine, even if it is a simple routine. No need to exaggerate, nor apply every week religiously. But maintaining a rhythm, following closely, and adjusting over time is what really makes a difference. Caring for the garden becomes lighter, more intuitive. You observe more, understand better what each plant needs, and begin to take more pleasure in following the process. It's not just about harvesting more, it's about getting involved in a more conscious way with what you cultivate. And the curious thing is that after a while, you start sharing this recipe with other people, whether in a gardening group, with neighbors, or even with a family member who thought they didn't have a green thumb. Because when something simple really works, the urge to spread it comes naturally. This mixture is not a magic formula. It is an intelligent combination of living elements, which when they meet, awaken the best the soil and plants have to offer. And when we learn to work with nature instead of trying to force everything, the result comes. Simple as that. For those starting to use this mixture now, there are a few simple precautions that make all the difference in the final result. The first tip is always use chlorine-free water, preferably rainwater, filtered, or water that has sat for at least 24 hours in an open bucket. Chlorine present in tap water can harm the living microorganisms in the humus or compost, which are precisely responsible for activating the soil. This detail, which seems small, is one of the secrets to making the mixture truly work. Another important tip is not to overdo the dose of molasses or brown sugar. Even being a natural ingredient, in excess, it can ferment too much in the soil or attract insects. 1 tablespoon per liter of water is more than enough. If using in small pots, dilute even more, just to ensure the balance is maintained. Remember, the goal is to stimulate the soil, not saturate it. It's like seasoning food. When you get the measure right, the result appears. If you want to go a step further, you can boost this mixture with homemade natural biofertilizers like banana peel extract, compost tea, or even a small amount of sifted wood ash. Each of these ingredients brings different minerals and helps complement plant nutrition without weighing on the pocket. But the rule is always the same. Test little by little, observe, and adjust according to the plant's response. Less is more, especially when the soil already begins to show signs of recovery. It is also worth remembering that this mixture is excellent, but it does not replace other basic care, such as good drainage, adequate light, and healthy soil from the start. It works best when inserted into conscious cultivation, where you understand that plant growth depends on a set of factors. Using this recipe without correcting, for example, compacted or poorly irrigated soil, may not bring the expected result. So always observe the whole. The plant speaks to us through its leaves, its stem, its rhythm. And finally, a simple tip: take notes. Every time you apply the mixture, note the date, how you applied it, and what you observed in the following days. It seems silly, but this helps you understand what works best in your environment, with your type of plant, with your way of caring. Each garden has its dynamic, and when you start recording, you create a learning map worth gold. And the most beautiful part of all this is that the more you get involved, the simpler everything becomes. Because deep down, caring for the land is this: learning slowly, calmly, the way nature teaches. If you made it this far, you are probably already thinking about testing this mixture, and I really hope you do. Sometimes all we need to change the garden's result is a simple care, done with attention. This recipe requires no technique, no experience, just a little curiosity and willingness to try. And the return comes fast. Whether in a pot on the balcony or a whole bed in the backyard, applying this mixture can be the turning point between a plant that survives and one that truly produces. If this content helped you or gave you the urge to get your hands in the dirt, leave a like on this video. It shows me that it is worth continuing to bring these practical, accessible tips that really work. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming videos with more natural recipes, simple care, and solutions you can apply there, in your time, your way. And tell me in the comments, which vegetable will you test first with this mixture? Write it down below. It can be lettuce, tomato, arugula, kale, or just to say you'll try. This exchange helps other people get excited too, and the more people putting it into practice, the more healthy gardens out there. Thanks for watching until the end. Until the next video.